Okay, let's go ahead and get started. This is Elliot Wave Sage. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. And just real quick market overview. So, market is trying to grind higher. I believe it's trying to finish this cycle that we see right here. It's a very actually important in how we finish. Because if we actually make an all-time high before we correct this cycle, then this wave 5 can be done. There's no rule that says it has to go. All we need to do is break the high is all we need. Now, we do have this massive bearish divergence here as we top out. So there's a good likelihood that this will continue lower, and eventually, even if this can make a little bit, maybe if it can make a pop higher, eventually I'll be pulled back down with this divergence. Now, if you're a bull, what you're hoping for, of course, is the divergence to get erased and do something like that. So we just don't know what the market holds, but I believe that it looks like this is some kind of fifth wave within this cycle here. And now we can label this as a 1-2. You got a 1-2 right there. You have your 3. So like this is probably your first 4 right there, somewhere there, and 5. Something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe we're even still in 4. We get another drop tomorrow and get 5 later. Or like I mentioned, we erase divergence with a quick little pop to erase divergence, but then we stay below this high. The wave remains corrective. Or we just come up and finish the count. So we just don't know. That's why trade in this area is very tough, and there's not really good setups to trade the stock indices. But a lot of people are seduced by the temptation to try to top tick this, and it's just not going to work out because we just don't know when it's going to roll over, but it will roll over. We just can't predict it just yet. So the SPY could be in this fifth wave, the Dow Jones also in this fifth wave. And again, it doesn't have to be. Like I said, I'm just showing you the likely count. This could still be in 4, which would surprise everyone, probably even me again now, to just drop, but it could happen. It's still possible. So I'm just showing you. But to me, this is irrelevant. This chart is just for your education and entertainment because it's not a tradable chart. There's no trade recommendation or like thought that I'm giving you other than where I think this cycle is going to finish. But there's no way I would trade this here. But there are people that do like to trade it. The NASDAQ is lagging. And again, really big divergence that's either going to play out hardcore, like in maybe Jackson Hole is going to be a bust, or we'll erase the divergence. We'll have to wait and see. IWM is still in a sell area, and again showing that bearish divergence. But we look here. You have your first. If I want to try to label this properly, you have like this A, B, C, right? And then you need 5 waves. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So that looks like that should do it. Let's check the higher time frames. Once we erase that divergence right there, we need to erase that. Then I believe the wave 5 should be finished, and perhaps the Russell will collapse finally. So that's a bear. Now that's a bearish setup for a bearish trade for those brave enough to take it. Bitcoin is confusing a lot of people, but I told you guys to watch out for all this chop. All this chop is coming, and I'll just kind of point it out again if you haven't heard my other videos. We're in this WXY pattern. We're in the Y wave. So if you look at the W wave, look, you had 1. You had a big move, upon. So you see all that choppiness. Here we just have 1. Now we're coming up. So it could do something like a pop up to 64, down to 56, pack up to 6, you know, and it could just do this all the way down. And I say I expect to do very erratic for the next month and a half or 2 months. So there's no trade. There's no like, oh my God, I got to FOMO in and buy it today. Oh my God, I got to short it. No, you just have to ignore this stuff. You just got to like turn your computer off and just go wait and be patient. And at some point we'll be down here. That's what I think with Bitcoin. So I think it's very erratic. That's meant to, again, seduce traders into FOMOing in or trying to top ticket. So and it's trying to get rid of leverage on each side. Because I bet the shorts are super levered right now. They're going to probably blow them up. They'll de-lever. The bulls will lever, think at its new highs, and then they'll blow them up, and they'll blow them up, and they'll just keep. And then finally, both sides give up, and then the market will move where it needs to, because the market makers just don't want to pay that out. Oil is continuing lower, just like we expected. It is ready for the waterfall sell-off. This could be a warning sign to the stock market that a big collapse is coming at any moment. Okay, silver, we need this wave 5 to negate the bearish count. Until we do that, the bearish is in play. The collapse in silver is in play until we push out of this. So maybe tomorrow we get lucky. If not, it's still a corrective move. Gold hit our top in area and is struggling. Gold may have already made a peak here, and we may see a big decline coming as people FOMO'd in at the top again, got really bulled up at a major cycle top, which is typical for a cycle top, right? Because everybody wants to buy it. No one wants to buy it at the cycle bottom. Then the dollar index should be finishing this fifth wave, should have another 3, a 4, and a 5. I do think it's going lower. Again, I've been kind of waffling back and forth on the structure of what this sideways move is. So I'm going back to the 3-wave move with an A, B, C with 5 waves down to 98. But, you know, it does not seem to be driving any correlation in the market. I think what's driving the market right now tends to be the Japanese yen to some extent and the VIX moving it. So here's Japanese yen. We did break that low. I told you that's a big danger sign. Breaking that low, that's again supports the bearish case that perhaps there is no super yen weakness pump. No, the Japanese bank is not coming to save the day. In fact, the quite opposite is about to happen. So get ready for that. And of course, bond yields have continued lower just like we've expected here. And looks like this 3 is done here on this 4. Just grinded lower in a wave 5. And we all know what happens after wave 5, right? A big bounce again. So then China started breaking down, I think, the other night. So I think this X probably is set now. We're now going lower in Y. The Nikkei, again, depends on how strong the yen is going to be in the next couple days. If you're going to get this finishing move up here or it's already finishing this too. The VIX is important because I think it could be controlling the market from a technical standpoint. It's very oversold. So I was just looking at the VIX here. We did get a reversal here. So this break is in an impulse with nice divergence off the bottom. So this cycle is over. Thank God that cycle has now ended. So now you're in a new uptrend in the VIX. That will go on until it you know, stops, until this low gets taken out at 14.4. So basically, as long as the VIX is over 14.4, it's going to continue to build higher in a series of 3 to 5 wave moves here. So here's your first pullback. You came up in a connector and you broke that low. So I would expect more VIX weakness, but there is a setup to buy the VIX at 1581, 1561, 1529 potentially if this is the right count. Last time we got it right and the VIX went vertical on our box, literally, and tagged it to the penny. Could we be that good again? We'll see. But this does show like some more weakness is coming in the VIX. This would be too soon. And then, of course, UVIX already came back in 3 and hit the buy area, but I would expect UVIX would come deeper into this area. So maybe when the VIX is trading here, for again, those brave enough to take it, you buy the UVIX and your stop has to go against 402. And if you get lucky, you'll have a huge reward. But it does seem like the VIX has now turned its cycle to the next cycle higher. Let's see, the 4-hour cycle is turning up now, as you can see, and there's plenty of room to go. So even though on the 15-minute, we need more downside. So the VIX shows maybe some more downside. So perhaps the SPY gets another little pop up here to 564. Maybe we even just pierce the all-time high just to complete this 5th wave, just so we can say its 5 waves are done, and even the bulls can't argue with that. Then we can say that's it. We'll see how it can do, what it can do from there. It's going to be hard to move without big cap tech all behind it. There is, Netflix is moving, but we have a lot of big cap tech that's still not at its above its July highs. And I don't think the indices can really move that far without all the big cap tech, including NVIDIA, behind it. So that's probably important to watch that. Okay, so let me go into your guys' questions. Let's just jump to Ronaldo. We'll go to AG and Dogecoin. So AG is tricky, right? Because silver has not made that wave 5. Now, if silver can make that wave 5, then stocks like AG may be safer to play, and it may give us a clue as to I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. Hold on. There we go. All right. So we did push higher. It looks like we extended in 5. Again, that's why I never want a top tick. Well, actually, we're in an extended 5th wave. So we're actually extended in 5. It honestly can end at any moment. You see that bearish divergence. Now, if we take that divergence out, this will become a 1-2, 1-2, and it'll probably come out of this correction completely and have a big move. So, you're just going to have to play it by ear. I think there's no reason to sell it. Honestly, looking at this chart, there's no reason to sell it, especially if you got in down here, because you could be setting up to break out of this this correction here, which should take you back up to this high eventually. So I think based on what I'm seeing here, we are seeing a wave 5 top, which is okay, even if we do pull back, because then that's a buyable dip for another swing higher. So it just depends on what happens in the next 24 to 48 hours with silver. Dogecoin needs more downside. It broke a key pivot. It's got a lot more downside ahead of it, and it's just the way it goes. Technically, it did hit our short area, got rejected. It looks like we're only down in 3 here. I maybe could force a 5th wave. If I force that as a 5th wave right there, those two, then this would be a fail, and right now would be an amazing short opportunity right here, right now. If that's the case, if it's not, you could still be in wave 2. So we just don't know. Could you get another push higher, the screw to shorts? I bet you could. So there's really no way of knowing that. And when you look at this count, there's just no way of knowing precisely where we are. But more downside is expected until this is all played out. Even if 2 wants to take another pop higher, but there's no way to know that. There's just two. These are too quick of a swing. I mean, you have 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could. I mean, I could label this by Elliott wave theory very easily. This, and if that's the case, then this is like I said, a short opportunity where you would want to go like max leverage short, like right here, right now, for a wave 3 crash. That's what, if this is the count. I'm not saying to do that, but I'm just saying that's the setup potentially if you're trying to like go long. You could be going long into probably the worst setup imaginable, but this can be labeled wrong because it's such a short time frame, and if it's labeled wrong and this is only 3 waves, then perhaps you will get a spike up to 12 cents and then you drop. So we just don't know. We just don't know. So thanks for the super chat. All right, Edward, let's go into Visa. Let's take a look at how Visa's doing. I think Amex was selling off with some news and earnings or something it had. Let's take a look at Visa. And where are we at with Visa? Again, it's being really stubborn. It looks like it's still in this wave 2. It looks like it should fail here, just looking at it. There's probably a short opportunity here. Yeah, right there today. Today was a short opportunity in Visa, potentially right in this box. So right there. So that this 2 is just double up here. It looks like it could end at any moment. All right, good luck with that. Megan, let's go to TEM. TEM. I heard on Twitter, and I retweeted this, the SVIX has got massive amount of capital put into that by traders. It's like set up for a spectacular crash, which is a Volmageddon event. So if you piled into SVIX, you're probably advised to leave that trade soon. All right, let's take a look. So obviously this 2 just finished here, just truncated. It just continued higher. So we never got the second wave down that we wanted. Let's take a look here. Let's just look at the labeling one more time. Yeah, just looking at it. So maybe the way to label it, again, this would have been to put the 1 there and called it a flat correction, and that would have put the 2 there. But it was just very unusual, look to it. But clearly now you're in the impulse off the low. So you're probably in some kind of wave 5 right now. That's gonna continue higher. And that should just have more upside coming as this continues. And it could continue to erase divergence as well. So this wave 5 looks like it's in the 3 of 5. And if it takes out this divergence, it will become another 1-2, and it will continue to moon. So ultimately, we had the long-term count right. The short-term count was off. But the long-term count's still playing out to the upside like was expected. All right, Douglas, let's look at SOXL. That's really depends on AMD and NVIDIA, but most, on what those stocks are going to do. I'll look at it for you. It's tricky to trade it. I'll just say that big picture is showing 5 waves up off the low here. And we did trade this pretty well. We got a short here, we had the buy here, we had another buy somewhere in this area. So now we pulled back. Here's your 5. Now we pulled back. We definitely went between the 4 and the 2. We definitely went deep enough, and it was very intense. But right on the daily, you barely took this divergence out. That's not good. The weekly cycle really needs to come all the way down. So that's why I have it labeled this way as an ABC. So we're in this connector wave that, it's hard to say when it's going to end. Right now we have bullish divergence, so we could see a more complicated connector wave, something like this, where it pulls a pullback and then more upside later. and then this comes later. So we could see something like that. Wouldn't be surprised. If we can erase that 4-hour divergence, then there's always a chance the connector is finished and we can go down. But I don't like trading it, buying it, selling it. I don't like taking the SOXS either. I think you're in this connector that is due for some pullback. There is semiconductor stocks that really didn't get a good bounce like Nvidia did, that are lagging, that really you need to catch up, which support this view. So I'll go into what those are, looking at it. One is here. Let me go to some of these here. So I think Dell was one. It's not really semiconductor. Let me see if I can find where I have them in here. Looking at them here. AMD. So AMD shows maybe it is going to reverse, so that's a bearish one. Now Micron, this doesn't look like it's bounced enough, right? Again, it looks like it should have more upside in the daily cycle after a pullback. ARM is another one that looks kind of the same way to me. ARM's another one. Another one that looks like it needs a pullback and more upside, potentially either in this 2 or the 2 is finished even. And like, so that's why I think it's like, when I look at the SOXL, it just looks like to me it's got choppiness ahead of it, but it is due a pullback. But if I'll say this, if the AMD chart is right and we're in wave 3 down in AMD, then we should erase divergence in the SOXL and it's going to collapse hard. So again, not something I want to buy, not something I want to short, just something that I want to watch and maybe buy if we do get that collapse. All right, let's take a look. So crypto had some day trade potential like CLSK. I gave that on my channel for an obvious pump that looked like we were breaking out of this and we could pump up to the back test at 1450. So remember on MIGI, we said the same thing. If Bitcoin was going to make that move higher, maybe this wave 2, I bet this wave 2 is going to come up to this area here and then fail later. So I wouldn't expect, I don't expect this to be here. I expect this to come up now, given what we're seeing in the market. I think Mars started to break out today in its X, so it looks like we're finishing these moves. So I think the divergence looks like to me that it's going to continue to push higher, and but how high is anyone's guess. It could go like to 178. It could even go to $2 in a squeeze. But I believe that's what we're going to get in crypto, and then an epic fail is what I suspect will happen. And then BCHG is kind of meandering along, stuck, waiting for a move down. And again, this looks like to me 1, 2, maybe like 3 down and a connector. It looks like it broke a cycle. Again, could we still be in X? We could be. So this is a lot of just sideways chop. It's a lot of noise. Like, you really should ignore what is happening. I know a lot of traders like different stocks, and they like, this is stock that isn't tradable. It's guessing whether it's going to do this or it's in, but ultimately in the long term, it's going to be down here. How we get there is going to be choppiness and a lot of guessing and trapping. It's going to pump maybe and get people excited, and then it's going to rug pull, or it's just going to trap every rug pull, and then no one's going to be scared to buy it. So it's going to do something like that. But I think if you get this pump, it's not likely to succeed. So I just don't like trading it here. And then the same thing with LTCN. I think Litecoin looked weak today. And LTCN, on the other hand, looks like it really wants to break down. So this one does not look like it wants to make a move higher for some reason. All right, KLID, SAVA, and some of the others. I can't stress enough how important it is not to trade stocks in these areas where they're in connectors or in wave fours or in choppiness. It is just like guessing. It's like you have no advantage other than luck for some, or maybe you have some insight into the company itself or news or something. But so SAVA, that may have been the wave two right there. You see there's your dip. There's a very good chance that could be it. Now, if it does want to push lower, I'll show you the buy area for the wave two. If it wants to do that, if it wants to make another dip, 28 to 27.75, right around here. Space, see here, we had that, we were watching that for a while, and then we kind of saw that breakdown, and it kind of became a go to zero name. Let's see where we are with space. So we have this wave four we're in. We're probably 1, 2. So it's tough. Either this wave 5 is done and you're going to get this huge pump, or we're in this wave 4 and you get one more 5 and then you get the huge pump later. So it's really hard to say. Let's look at the longer term cycles. The weekly cycle looks like it wants to break. You see that? So my guess is as the cycle's coming to an end for a big pump. And it may have already ended. But this pump should fail wherever it fails. So we just don't know. If we do if we do push down lower, then we just have to move the 4 over. It'll make one more minor low, and then you'll get this big move. It looks like the weekly and daily cycles have started to move higher. It looks like to me it wants to break out in this 4. Now this would be really shallow, too shallow almost. So I think you do want to see more upside. CLBT. Celebrate. All right, so this one broke this high. That's really good. And we'll just kind of say it's bullish from this low. We have a 1, 2. There's your 3, 4. There's your bearish divergence. So it looks like it's in a wave 5 right now off this low. It's possible it's already done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's tough. This could also be a 1, 2 here. So it could also be labeled this way. Like that. So it's tough to say, but it looks like it's in some kind of wave 5 that should be coming to an end, where it should take it all the way back down to $10. All right, Mark, how you doing? Let's go ahead and couple EMR. Let's see here, and it doesn't look like we have that one. Emerson Electric. All right, so we had this a long time ago. Here was our buy area. It looked like that worked out. Let's get rid of all that. Let's label it again. So So right away you could see your wave 3 hasn't emerged on this utility yet. It looks like you have like some kind of 1-2 right here. And then you have a whole nother cycle that ended somewhere around here. Maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just take a look here how this, the best way to label this. A, B, C. Yeah, you know, I'm going to label it this way just to make it a little cleaner. Like that. And then put that 1, 2 here. And then put that 1, 2 here. So it's a very bullish setup in this utility. This could be a couple things. So this looks like a full cycle up. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. We did peak, so more than likely that's a 3 right here. There's a 4, so probably make a 5th wave of some kind. And then my guess is you'll pull back deep again, and then make another 1, 2. And then have a big move out of that. So that's what I think you're going to see. Now, there's always a chance it could just pump out of that 5 and extend. We see that so many times. But this 4, let's see. You see this is just went straight down here. But the RSI is deep enough. Maybe, yeah. So I think it's I would just go with this as 4 bullet. It's bullish above 99.16 for more upside in wave 5. We should come to an end at some point and do something like that. All right, good luck on that. And then DAR, D-A-R. Let's see here. Don't have that one. Darlin Ingredients. So this one you have the wave 3 up here. So this is probably some kind of top in the grand super cycle or something. My guess is this will push through and break it. So we can try to label it here. Yeah, again, we'll just kind of label it a little conservatively. And then that 3 was here. 5. So it's probably something like that. And now it's correcting. 1, 2, 3, there's your connector. So that gets you right to where it's finding support. So this is the first bounce area right here. So you'll have a tough decision to make. I mean, you probably are going to get a pretty big bounce out of this area soon with the monthly cycle, the weekly cycle, and perhaps the daily cycle all need more upside. So this looks like to me it's going to move. Now, there's a chance that this is the bottom and it just keeps going to new all-time highs. But there's also a chance that it just makes a bounce and then it fails again. Unfortunately, we just have no way of knowing what the market wants to do. But I believe it's due for a bounce at any moment. It could be something like this, could be like that, or if you're really lucky, you get all-time highs. So if you believe in this company, you would want to be buying it right now. I'm not sure why it's bullish. While so many stocks look like they've topped, there's a few that look like this, that look like they've bottomed. Looks like some kind of what is this? Some kind of staple, edible and inedible bionutrients, food ingredients, fuel. Maybe this is predicting massive inflation or something. Actually, I think I'll take a look at it myself. Does it pay a dividend? Let's see if it pays a dividend or not. It does not pay a dividend. Well, people got to do what you got to do. It seems like a good setup for a bounce play here. Okay, good luck on that. All right, Lesl, THC. Okay, let's look at that. THC. All right, what is going on here? Oh, there we go. I don't know what TradingView was doing there. All right, so let's see here. So it looks like we did get that drop in some kind of run-in flat here that ended. So now we're extending higher. So we did get the run-in flat correction, and now we should continue higher. Let's look at the RSI. How deep did we reset? Not deep at all, really. So we have to be careful we're not extended in wave 5 itself. Yeah, it's still an extension in wave 5. So we're still in this wave 5. So it did not finish, so it's continuing to push higher. And again, it's a very tricky chart to label, but I'll do my best. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't label that 3, but I would say that I guess more upsides coming in this 5th wave. Kind of like a blow off top of some kind. So I think everyone has the idea of trying to short it, but the market is going to squeeze it up and make time in the short almost impossible. That's what it looks like it's trying to do here. It looks like everybody has that. Look at this extended 5th though. If this is really the count and we're in this kind of massive extended 5th wave, the short would be really lucrative. Let's take a look here. You see we're almost actually erasing divergence and negating this count. So if it pushes up like I show here, this could become another 1-2. And then it will become a 3 of 3. Something you don't, yeah, I wouldn't recommend shorting this because it looks like it's trying to accelerate, and that squeeze could turn it into a catastrophe for the short side if they're trying to top ticket. So this could become a 1-2, and once it does, then this is a 3 of 3, and essentially we'll go vertical. Okay, DVA, let's take a look at that. It's another one that wow, we just got a little pullback, just a little pullback there. But see, because we made that higher high there, then whatever's happening is not a B wave anymore, I don't think. Yeah, it's definitely 5 off the low. Again, this had to have been some kind of flat correction. So this is in I think some kind of fifth wave. It just seems way too shallow. So my guess is it topped in 5, maybe here, possibly even here, and it's going to do like an A, B, C and come back to like 127 or something. Timing it will be really difficult, but it would have been 151 to short. If you're going to try to short it, this would be the area to do it right there. And it looks like it tagged that today and got rejected. So the short opportunity may be over, but if it plays out, it'll drop back down to this area, but then it's actually buyable. And I wouldn't short it because then you should be going into a wave 3, a 3, when this is finished. You should be going into something like that. Okay, good luck on that. Mara, yeah, Mara thinks a lot commercial furniture. Mara is, I think, a day trade opportunity for upside as it squeezes. Like a lot of crypto, like CLSK, I believe, was one. I do believe that it's a day trader's opportunity that is playing out here, and then perhaps you can get it up to 22 on a back test of this trend line, and then I'm looking for a big rejection again. So, but I am looking, I do think this is a really good, you know, chart pattern trader, day trader setup, like you should have bought it like on close. And there's some day traders I follow that were like pumping Mara. They saw this too. I saw it in the morning playing out, but I thought you could play it through CLSK. I posted this on my Twitter early in the trading session when we were down at 11:58 and we closed at 12:41. But now everyone's like, "Oh God, let's get in it." And I saw it down here. So here we are, but I believe it's going to keep pushing, and hopefully like CLSK can get you back up to back test this. You come up, back test it, boom, get rejected. That's the idea to play that. That's the idea. And Mara's the same trade essentially, but just, you know, pick the one you like. But Mara looks like it's going to do that. And I still think there's a rejection coming in Mara, but perhaps what you could do is like, okay, I'll play the long side, get this pump, and then just, you know, let the market stop me out. Like, who's to say, like, don't sell it here, just let the market pull back, and if you see it break trend, then okay, I'll sell it. You may not get the top, but perhaps this could push higher, or it's completely, it's actually done its correction. It actually goes to new highs, surprising everyone. So we just don't know. But I like the setup on the long side for like day trader opportunity. It would be surprising to see it get rejected tomorrow and have Bitcoin crash. I just, how's Bitcoin doing tonight? Because I think Bitcoin got excitement because Donald Trump and Kennedy are getting together, which means I think the market said, oh my God, now they can win again. That's why DJT pumped. So now all of a sudden Trump's fortunes have turned again, and now the market is pricing in like the idea that they may win, which is like super good for crypto. Like I think both those guys want essentially like, you know, like the government to buy crypto like Bitcoin as like a stockpile. I mean, how you can't get any more bullish than that, right? So I think people are going to get excited about that. And so that's why I think this X could pump out of here. I would be careful being short, but if you're day trading crypto, I'd be careful being short day trading crypto. It would be a shock to me to see it top here and just collapse. That would be surprising. It would surprise me, and it surprised a lot of people. I think a lot of pro traders on the internet saw what I saw, and I guess, telling their followers to go along too, so we'd all get it wrong. So, but anyway, I just show you this idea. You guys can take it. It doesn't mean I'm taking it, but I just show it because I want to show opportunity on the bear and bull side and let you guys decide. All right, GDX. GDX is tricky because if gold is topped at a major cycle top, then the GDX is going to drop. So if this is the right count in gold and we peaked here and this was a sell area we've had for months that we finally hit, if this all is right, the GDX is about to collapse. So, but, you know, the chart won't say that yet because we just don't know. Like the chart will still show it's bullish. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to show you the chart that's probably going to show it's bullish, but just understand that a major cycle could be over in gold at any moment. All right, so I have this chart where you're in this kind of connector wave and an A, B, C move to end an X. The place where it could end and terminate could be at 40.75, a little bit higher in this area. And then you could get that collapse I was mentioning. Okay, so that's the setup. That's what I think is going to happen. But if I'm wrong, then the 2 is done here. So this is where you're just going to have to decide, do you want to gamble it and let it run? Or do you want to take some off the table? Do you want to hedge? Or just go for it? Now, if you look, you do have this breakout. But we've seen in silver, we had this breakout before, and it would break out and then fail back before you got the real breakout. So we've seen that before. So, but it is a sign that the bulls are wrestling control of this market. But I just worry that gold is pretty extended, and the sentiment in gold couldn't be any more euphoric than I've seen it lately, and the media attention. So do what you have to do. This is what I'm showing, but you know, we don't have confirmation that this is in place. So, you know, I could easily just put that 2 in and then say it's bullish. So it's like tough to say, but I think the metal itself is showing a potential top-in area. Okay, Mark V, let's go back to your question. ASX, let's go to REA. Let's take a look at REA. And ASX, there it is. All right, let's see what we've got going on. It looks like we got some kind of wave 3 happening. So this is big. Look at this. You've got a breakout on the weekly cycle. This is just getting started. So it looks like it's about to enter the powerful wave 3 price action and a 1-2-1-2 setup for more upside. That's what it looks like to me. And the party looks like it may just be getting started. So I don't know what these guys do, what sector they're in, but it looks like they're on the right side here. Let's go to the 4-hour. You know, it's really tricky here because if it's 5, yes, it's entered a wave 3, but you're going to have a pullback. But is the wave 5 done here? And it's more bullish. And it's like this. So we don't, because we don't have that big separation move yet to confirm. So it's, so it, to, I probably would label it this way, but you're going to have to decide how aggressive you want to be, and just understand that it could be the other count like that until you get that surge. But by the then you get that, you missed the move, and then you get, so you either got to go for it and hope and get the confirmation later, or wait for the confirmation and miss a lot of the move. What do these guys do? What sector are they in? Property related services and websites across Australia and Asia. Okay. Not sure why it would be so bullish, but looks like people are using them. All right. Good luck with that. GMG. All right, so this one's another one that we haven't really seen, wave 3. All right, let's see here. Let's just go ahead and label some of this. You see how you erase that divergence, so we'll fix that up. Yeah, that's probably right. All right, so you're in some kind of wave 4 here. Could be a flat. If it's a flat, it's finished here. So hard to say when that wave 4 will finish exactly, but it seems like to me it's got more upside coming. And then once this finishes, then a bigger pullback for then the really big move. So something like that, and then it really comes out. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay. PayPal day trade. PayPal, I believe, hit our short area today or yesterday. We called this area to be hit and be short it. So I think that's the day trade opportunity, and that may have come and went today. I don't know how it finished. Let's see where it finished. Okay, it's still alive. So there is a day trade opportunity here to short it right here. So that's the day trade. So you could try to short it. You could close it out if it gets above 73, real conservative. But if you want to keep it open, you may want to keep it open to 75, 76, just to play it safe. But I am expecting this to reverse down, something like that. All right, good luck with that. That's the day trade. I mean, and that's why I have this box. Now, doesn't mean I'm always right. I've shown, on my channel many times where these boxes are hit and they always work out, but sometimes they don't. So there is that opportunity here, but like I said, it may not work out. So use your stop losses and manage your risk properly. All right, good luck on that. All right, PBJ. TLT should continue to see more upside. The TLT is, but people have to be patient. There's a lot of people very impatient. They just want it to go straight up and never does. But like I said, it's, guys, we've had this buy down here. We bought it down here. So it just takes a lot of patience. Like this is played out. And I'm just going to keep saying it and saying it again. It's going higher, okay? It's going to the 115s, 120s. God, it could go even higher than that. It's just going higher. And you could see it's starting to get parabolic a little bit. So that's the count. You got to be patient. People got mad at me at TLT back here. But look, we're still going up because they want it to go straight up. For some reason, everybody wants it to just go straight up. It doesn't. The market never works like that, especially at these bottoms. It's volatile, so you got to be patient. But eventually the market pulls it out, and that's what it's doing here. Many times we had a lot of opportunity to buy the TLT. We had it here as a buy. We had it here. We had it here. We even had it here on this 4 that kind of stopped people out a little bit because it was so deep, but then it still came back. So again, market is designed to, to basically take the money from impatient people, because people that aren't patient typically are the ones that don't make it. So I'm not saying you are asking me. I'm just saying people have been mad at me about TLT, but yet it's still going higher. So somehow they're mad, but it's still the trade's working out. It's just not working out the way they want it. They want it to go straight up. So it doesn't go straight up. So I'm talking to the people that have been pissed off at me about TLT, not you, PBJ, just other people talking to me about TLT. TLT is working if you're patient. All right, UWMC. Let's look at that real quick. Let's take a look. I don't think we've done that one before. So we'll just say it's bullish from this low, and then kind of just try to chart the Elliott waves. Right, it looks like something like that. And then like another 1 2 1 2. It looks like it's pulling up in a 3. So it looks like it's very bullish setup. That's emerging. So I'll be looking for more upside. RKT. RKT played out like we expected. Busted out in wave 3 like we were hoping for. Let's go ahead and label this thing. Looks like we'll still get more upside coming. A lot of wave 4s and 5s still to come, so this definitely has more upside potential. For some reason, people keep trying to short it. That's why you have all these overlapping waves, all these 1 2s. So I think now we're at the point where the shorts have finally given up, and we'll probably erase divergence, and this will probably, boom, pop up. So yeah, this is about to have a big another push higher, I think, coming. And again, this is another one we had. Look, we had the buy area right here. We maybe missed it by a penny, but what if you just got in early at 1097? It's almost 20. You would have doubled your money. So we get most of these. We may not be perfect, but we get a lot of these right, these setups right. And we saw this one come in, but look at all these 1 2s. Now I think the 3 of 3s are coming. You'll get some separation, and then a lot of 4s and 5s. Okay, Jose, CHK. I think I know what that one is. Yeah. So I do have this one on my watch list, and it's eventually getting to 55.84. It's been months and months and months waiting for 55.84. So that's the buy area. It's, the correction, probably some kind of ABC here. And we're probably starting that final push lower as oil is breaking down finally, which should break natural gas down. I think that's what these guys mostly do. So yeah, so more downside. I like buying it at 55.84. It could still drop deeper, but we'll have to wait and see what it looks like as we get down. But I definitely think more downside, especially it looks like we're about to break this low, confirming that view. All right, random. AI, yeah, that's one we used to get asked a lot. I used to get asked a lot, but then people stopped asking about it, so I'm not sure. All right, so we've charted this bullish from this point on right there. I don't know what happened to my labels. I guess I lost, they're gone. So you can see you got this bullish divergence here. So there's definitely some kind of 5-wave move off the low. Like that. So now we're in this correction. So this correction was very confusing. So you had this ABC, then you come up in 3, but then you break this low right here. You see that? So that's not good. That's not good. So now you have another A, B, and now you need C. And it looks like we need to break down a little bit more. Now see, here's the thing. This is what I remember about it. We took this divergence out. We reset the cycle here. So the best way to label this is a little different. It's 3-wave move down. So it's like this. So we'll label it, make it cleaner like this. Okay, so the question is that the low or not? Because it definitely got the capitulation, no divergence. You reset the cycle with this pump. So we need to look at this wave a little closer and see what that looks like. And you know, it doesn't look impulsive to me. It looks corrective, which means it's in danger of break-in. So I think the only way to play this is as long as you're above 2013, there's a chance that it can continue higher. And this is some kind of 1, 2, and it just continues higher. There's a chance for that. But once we break that low, then the bear case is alive. This is a connector. And then you'll have another 3 swings. So you'll probably come back to retest this low. So I think I would label it this way for now. And then just let the market stop you out if you're going to be if you're wrong on the bullish side. So I would just label it like this for now, and then if the market stops you out, then it isn't, then that's not it. If it doesn't, then it's got a lot more upside coming. ServiceNow is trying to make a move out here. So ServiceNow got the buy here on a massive wave 2, got a V bottom. And then we came out of this. Now this bottom, I do not like it. So assume that this was going to fail. Now this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be a running flat and finished here. And I was looking at that today or the other day. But we don't have the RSI confirmation yet. So I don't like this setup. I don't like putting it there would violate my system completely. Putting it there would. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if this isn't labeled like it's something like this that plays out. Where it's 1, 2, 3 and we come up, or it's already done and this is a 1, 2 and we go back. So like I just don't like chasing this here, this move, because I just don't like how this bottomed out here at all. So that's why I leave it it's not really labeled, because I just don't have a good way of labeling it, but I'm not confident enough to put the 2 there or there. So I just leave it unlabeled for now. I'll leave it unlabeled until we get more price data. But you know, but I guess if you want to be bullish, you could say it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's about to launch. But I just if I go ahead and label that and tell you that, I would be kind of just violating all my rules that I usually follow looking at something like this. So I just kind of I would say, like, I wouldn't just buy it here, but if you get a pullback, maybe you can try to buy it. But I do see when this finally resolves, whatever this is, much more upside in the future. Okay. Riley, let's take a look at that. Riley here. All right, so Riley, oh yeah, Riley, I think got bought out or something, right? Yeah, so they're trying to sell this chart. You can't analyze this chart. It's being bought out, or it's being shopped out. That's why absurd. Like the market now is pricing in like what's its book value and all that. Like it had we had this massive collapse. It happened, but now somebody wants to buy the company or they're trying to sell themselves. So it's not really tradable, or even I can't even chart it properly knowing that because it could just get a bid here and be delisted, or it could continue lower like we have it. Someone could outbid this guy and bid it up more. So I would say it's not really a tradable stock. Typically when a stock goes under merger acquisition news, it's not tradable anymore. It's just essentially flat lines, or maybe there's an arbitrage if the merger doesn't happen. You can play that, but the chart that I show is kind of goes out the window. It doesn't really work. Okay, so I got through everybody's questions. I'll just kind of scan through things. BABA should be going down as China's going down. Wolf reversed today. I think it sold off and then closed green. Wolf is way oversold. It needs a bigger jump. I think Wolf has got at least a big counter trend rally coming. BA is, I told you guys, BA could be the next Intel if certain conditions materialize. And I think as soon as I said that, it had like a 5% sell-off or something on another malfunction. So again, we don't have 5 up. This could be corrective. And once we break 161.32, it's game over for this stock. It's game over. Okay, it's game over. Technically. I don't have to. You don't have to be, you don't have to be a genius to understand that. It's a broken chart if this breaks. It's at its final, you could call this like some kind of head and shoulders like pattern. You break it, there's your like neckline, you break it, boom. There's just too many people that still are hopeful. They're like, oh, they're a duopoly, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. I don't know. I just say that it needs more upside. If it can't get it, technically the chart's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, Wolf is a semi, and it needs more upside. It needs more in a counter trend rally. That's why it reversed today. It's just too oversold. The triple Qs, I think, have a pop higher coming. I think because I think the way to play, if you really want to trade the market, and I'm not recommending trading the market given the counts we're in, but if you have to do it, you have to watch the VIX. The 15-minute VIX shows like it's still in a correction, which means the market could go higher, right? The VIX looks like it needs to be down here. So this should this theoretically should push the market higher. But when the VIX is trading here, the bears have a chance to sell this thing off hard. So I believe that's how you play the market. The market rises when the VIX is here, then you better be really careful. Because if this plays out and UVIX plays out, boom, market's toast. Again, we've seen these areas fail too. So I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying this is where it should happen. If the bears are still alive out there and want to drop it, they would do it probably here. If not, it'll just keep falling. The VIX will just keep falling to new lows and break 14.5, and the market will just keep going higher. Low risk short. If I short anything in the market, it's the Russell right now. So but I'm not taking that. I'm not short in the market given like where we are in the ridiculousness of it. I'll just take individual trades as they come. But if someone's like, hey, I want to short, you better go short something right now today, I'll short the Russell. If someone's like, you got to short something. All right. Lily is in extended wave 5. There's just no way it completed its cycle that quick. I mean, what's it going to do? Go to $4,000 or $5,000? Was it going to be like a $5 or $6 trillion company? There's a thing about Lilly. I'll just say this. I think the bulls are missing, and I posted this on my Twitter. There's people too bullish on this company. Yeah, their drug is awesome, right? I get it. It makes, it makes fat dudes skinny dudes look like underwear models. I get it. Everyone wants that drug. But the problem is it's $1,000 a month. And nobody pays, no insurance is really paying for weight loss drugs like that. So they're going to build, think about it. They're building out billions of dollars of capacity, fixed capital, and they're going to have all that money outlaid, and they're going to be ready to pump out to have every 100 million, millions of people on this med all over the United States, but then no one covers it. So who's paying for it? No one. I think that's the catch-22, and I bet that's the grand super cycle collapse. The fundamental people will see emerge and panic, and they'll panic like no tomorrow, because then they'll have to cut prices significantly because of all that unused capacity, because that's what's going to happen. They're not, trust me, average Joe six-pack that works a blue-collar job on the line can't afford $1,000 a month to get rid of his bear gut. It's not going to happen. So Eli Lilly, that CEO, is smoking crack. Like, the insurance is not covering it. So all these millions of customers they're hoping for just isn't going to happen, guys, unless they lower the price to like $100 a month, and then they're going to lose a ton of money that they're going to need to recoup on all this capital investment they're building out capacity. So I'm telling you guys, the fundamental case is not so rosy because of the pricing of it. And then you have competition coming in. So I do believe that's why a wave 5 makes sense in Lilly, and not a whole new grand super cycle where it's going to $5,000-$6,000. I just don't see it. Now, if Harris gets office and she's like, everybody gets free ZEP bounds, hey, cool, then maybe it can do that. Then it's like, hey, cool, let's print money and everybody can have free ZEP bounds, and we'll all be beyond this thing. So I think it's like that's my thing about Lilly. I think there's a fundamental trap there that the analysts aren't holding the CEO accountable enough to speak to. They're just looking at the potential TAM, the total addressable market, and they're getting euphoric over it, but they're not like practically understanding that only the richest people can buy $1,000 a month, and most insurance don't cover weight loss meds. So good luck, Lilly. But hey, it does. If you can't get this stuff, it's like a miracle drug. I know people on it. They've lost a ton of weight, and it does change lives if you can actually get it and afford it. XOM. Let's look at the commodities real quick and see how they trade it with oil kind of taking a dump. Let's go with Chevron first. So let's kind of back up where we are with our commodity plays. Again, Chevron took a lot of patience. We were short in Chevron back in September 2023. Look at that, guys. That's how long, damn, that's a lot of patience. But finally, that patience is being rewarded, and we still got a ways to go. How about XOM? XOM, we had the short here. Again, oh my God, they're trying to pump it, but now they're giving up. So we called the short here. So we had some great short opportunities in oil and gas that we gave months ago that maybe people loaded up on. And now I think the power of wave 3 to the downside is about to emerge in these energy plays. As everyone FOMO'd in, it was just kind of delusional with, oh, it's just going to keep going up and up and up. And no, and I'm like, nope, it hasn't. It needs to correct. So XOM looks like you have some kind of bear flag breakdown right now, which makes sense. Look at the price of oil, what it's doing. It's about to break that triangle. It actually may have broke out today, broke down today. So good luck with that. Ford is toast. Those guys are screwed. I think if Ford had a counter trend rally, that's cool. but I think Ford's chart is broke, and I wouldn't be surprised in the end of, when these indices are trading at the end of the grand super cycle, that they're begging for another government bailout because they fucked up with the EV bet. They just bet the farm on EVs, and they're trying to walk that back. I think there was some news today about that, but I think they've already bet the farm on it. And again, Tesla's the king of EVs, guys. So car makers just got to accept what they are and not try to be Tesla. And they're all trying to be Tesla, and they're failing epically. And they're going to waste a lot of money, other shareholders, trying to do that. Yeah, J Powell. My thing about J Powell on Friday, guys, is the expectations are way too high and too euphoric from what I can see on TV, from what I can hear. It's like everyone's like, oh, he's going to give us, he's going to give us the speech opposite of Jackson Hole 2 years ago, where he told the markets a new rate hiking cycle's coming and there's going to be a lot of pain introducing the rate hike. He's going to say we're now in a rate decreasing cycle and we're going to ease for the next several years. Like, he's not going to say anything like that. I mean, are you kidding me? I can't believe I heard someone say that. Like, do you really, if the common folk trader out there thinks that's what's going to come out of his mouth Friday, they're going to be disappointed, and then they're going to panic sell, because he's going to actually, if anything, be more hawkish and more conservative to give himself some options. Why would he lock himself in, right? He would be foolish to do that. So I think people will be disappointed and perhaps really fixate on any hawkish like phrases and commentary more than anything bullish. But that's my guess. Oh, Carl got a super chat come in. ALB. Yeah, I like ALB was tempting to buy. I saw it in the buy area. It's kind of hanging out in that buy area, and I just I don't like buying anything right now, just in general. But unless I'm trading it, and this is more of a long-term buy opportunity, I think. Like it's not like a day trade thing. It's like you're gonna have to hold it for a little bit, but it is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's in the buy area. I mean, and we've had this buy area on this chart, for again months and months, and we finally got here, right? And even I said, hey, we're gonna watch that trend line. We almost got to the trend line, but now we're coming out. So I think the ghost is clear in this thing. I think you have 1, 2, 3 connector, 1, 2, 3. So I think it's a buy for a long-term investment opportunity. But a day trade, I can't tell you on the shorter time frames how it's going to play out. But I believe 2 years from now, it's going to be up here. So long-term investment, it looks like this is a place to go pull the trigger, right, in a major low. Right there. It's perfect technically. Look, every time it's hit this trend line, it's bounced, and here we are. So I like it here. I don't know much about what they do. They do some kind of like specialty chemicals, I think, or something. Yeah, specialty develops and manufactures chemicals. So again, is this saying major inflation's coming in the future, right? Is that what this is saying? Short term, don't really know. Could it chop around, go up and then crash again? Yeah, it could do that. But long-term investment opportunity, there you go. I think it pays a dividend too. Maybe not a big one. So good luck with that. Oh, okay. If I missed that, I apologize. ASTS. Let me go to that. ASTS. What is this? Space Mobile. The hell do these guys do? Damn. Was that like telephones in space or something? Satellite phones? Okay, so obviously it's in a wave 3, right? It's in a massive pump. So let's take a look at the shorter cycle and see where we are with this thing. Wow, we haven't seen because this should be your wave 3, and we haven't seen it. So yeah, it's going to still go higher, as crazy as it sounds. I guess people are trying to short this thing. Again, this is, people are trying to top tick it. Yeah, people are just trying to top tick this thing. You can't even call that a wave 3. Yeah, why, I don't know, why is this so bullish? Did they like invent something really cool or something, or so this, we're correcting this cycle now, this thing. Now this could double correct down and it could come back down to 31. But it'll be probably just another buy. But as you can see on the 4-hour cycle, we haven't taken this peak out. You see this peak RSI is way back here. You need that peak RSI like up here. So that means we haven't really seen the true pump yet out of it. Even though this looks like pretty impressive, but we are in this too. So this too could still pull back. So we just don't know how deep it's going to go. You see in this cycle here, we're not even. So yeah, good luck with that. Cool. Oh, it's a meme pump. Isn't that something? Why can't they meme pump our stocks, right? Yeah, I'll do this INDO one. That's one I posted to you as an idea. So INDO was one that just keeping my eye on for community. Someone asked me about this a long time ago, and gave this. We had this one big picture. Big picture. You have this massive pump here. It actually hit 86 at one point for one. So now we're in this big ass correction. So we were charting this correction, and we actually I think that the member, or not the member, but the person who follows me, we found it in this cycle here, and we saw it's 5 waves off the low. So that's bullish. So that's a bullish reversal. So it came back down in 3, and then there was a buy here, and it actually essentially went vertical on the buy, and it held the low, and then it came up in another 5 waves here in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it came down in 3, and it actually held this, and it started to bounce out of that. So that's where I posted the idea, because you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, bigger picture. We have some consolidation, like you have this consolidation pattern, and when you broke out, you had a huge move. Well, you have this consolidation pattern, and once we break out, the idea is you'll get another big move out. And to break that, the trend line, we're not that far away. It's 478. So if we can break 478, we could see a really big squeeze just looking at these technicals. And we could see targets of $12 to $20 easily. So that's the idea. It has nothing to do with the company, or I love the Indonesia market is where to invest. I mean, I don't give a shit about Indonesia. I just look at this chart. This was a stock somebody like you guys asked me about, and I just caught my eye, and I had been watching it. And then when I saw this drop, I was like, oh, wow, look at this. This could be a setup, but it may not be. Because it could always fail, if it really, the line in the sand is this low. So there's a lot of risk, but as you know, there's a lot of reward if it plays out. So I don't know if it'll play out or not, but I just show it. I show these ideas, and then you guys can decide. I mean, I didn't know the VAX plays would play out, and then the next day they're up like 60, 80% in like 24 hours. So sometimes they play out like that, sometimes they don't. You'll just have to decide if this is, you want to roll the dice on something like this. Yeah, and I don't give my trades anymore on this channel. Nobody gets my trades anymore, because people I found just blindly follow with no stop loss, and then they get mad they lost all their money, and I'm like, oh yeah, I stopped out, and they're like, well, I'm still in it. Like, so I there's too many people that don't know how to trade. They don't know how to use stop loss, or they put their whole stack in something, and so my trades are secret. I'll just show you ideas, but I'm never going to say if I'm in a trade or not anymore, because people just was too stupid with like what I'm saying. because I got to remember there's, we don't have people on this that watch me. They just don't know. They just like, oh, I'll just bet everything I own on this idea. Oh, he said buy INDO. I'll bet my whole bank account on it. Oh, I lost everything. You're an idiot. I want to come kill you. Like, see, I can't have that. So it's not happening. So I just show these ideas, and I've been posting different ideas on my Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, you should. And my Twitter, I'll post ideas. Magnite seemed to be working out. That was another one. Some they're long, some are short, and then you can decide which ones you want. All right. Apple prediction, guys. Apple is in a tricky situation again, like the rest of the market. The higher it pushes up, the higher the target. I still want to see another swing down. I really do. I really want to see another swing down, but whether we get it or not, yeah, you see, it really wants to just boom finish that cycle and just drop it. It's what it wants to do. Yeah, I do. I get people that, because I guess when people lose money, it's serious to them. They get really angry, and that's why I always say you got to be mad at yourself. It's always good to be mad. You want to be mad at other people. But you can only blame yourself. Only you press the buy or sell button. No one's doing that for you. So you gotta own your decisions. So I gotta be more careful now that I have more people following me. So I just gotta be careful because there are crazy people out there, and I just can't take any chances, especially when it's people's money, right? Because money's like, to some people, all they live for, and their whole existence revolves around how much money they own, even though there's more important things than money, guys. But for some people, that is the most important thing, and when they lose it all, they want to kill, hurt someone, because they can't take accountability for their own decisions and stupidity. All right, guys, that's the end here. Let's just look at the futures real quick and see how we are doing. All right, some red, but it's all about Powell tomorrow, right, guys? Bitcoin, real tricky, right? Like I said, I read on Zero Hedge that there's so many people max short right now. Like the shorts are the trade right now is so one-sided on the short end. It seems like it will squeeze and then drop. It just doesn't seem like the shorts will get that kind of easy money if that many people are on that side of the market. So that's what got me thinking. And then you have the Trump Kennedy speech. What if they drop a note about Bitcoin in their speech? They're in Phoenix tomorrow, right? I think he's going to endorse them. I'm sure that'll pump Bitcoin. So I got to be careful getting too bearish on Bitcoin, especially with this like continuation pattern here, like wants to break out. So I'll keep an eye on that. And again, the VIX 15-minute cycle looks like it wants to go lower, go lower. So maybe we run up into the speech and then something really bad happens in the speech, or the speech is really good and we pump out of it, and then NVIDIA's earnings is what turns the market. Maybe it's all about NVIDIA next week as we trade down here in the VIX. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but it'll be a very interesting couple weeks coming up. Oh man, my bad. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I've got my days mixed up. Yeah, Paul's Friday. So yeah, maybe we set up into Paul's speed. Yeah, if we're in the VIX down in this area going into Friday, then I think it'll be tempting to long the VIX again, even though long in the VIX has been a suicide trade. But if you can hit it, man, you can make a lot of money. If you can hit this UVIX too, if you can nail this UVIX trade, and when we get this counter trend daily, because the daily cycle's got to correct this thing. It's gonna correct it. You can make a lot of money really quickly, but you just have to time it right. So we'll have to wait and see, and then go from there. All right, guys. Good luck, and we'll